pieces that way, by
Khan. Hey, shalom, shalom. Say that way.
the way.
Khan. Shalom, shalom. How you want to walk, which is a good day. I'm knocking up Waha a Bar Yasha'Allah, with the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, to preach you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian Sations, and Israelite foreigners. Nacham, Atam, Kaya, Hamalakov, Hashemayim, Korah, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. First and foremost, before we get started, we say, call Allah, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Rahadash, double honor to the elders and apostles. Great millstone that taught this truth and rule well and much respect to you bros out there pushing this truth with all righteousness. It's the serious shalom, shalom. So we're the brothers of Great Millstone, Virginia and Charlotte. Brother Yuam, and then I have the brother Ayash Kabar and GMS Virginia. We're pretty much going into this article on RT. I'm gonna start it out. It says EU plagued by new hidden inflation. MP says European Parliament member Biljana Borzan has urged the legislative body to look into the phenomenon of skimpflation, which she says began with the Ukraine conflict. Because the Ukraine conflict pretty much had a lot to do with the famines and the different the U.S. was sending money over there, so it was causing for a shortage of resources and also not a lot of money being stimulated in the economy. So pretty much everything is works hand in hand. So pretty much the Lord is touching the world economy. That's why they got to switch over to that new system. We'll keep going. It says the quality of goods and services is suffering across the EU due to skimpflation. European Parliament member Borzan from Croatia warned this week. The term refers to a cost-saving practice of skimping on the quality of products or services while keeping prices steady in order to protect margins. You see, so they're keeping prices steady, but then also they're increasing. That's why we just went to the store, and we got the vanilla milkshake. And she like, did you want whipped cream? And she filled it probably about 3/4 of the cup when she could have just put the whole thing. That's pretty much because they use skimpflation, It says,
I feel cheated.
Right. It says, while keeping prices steady in order to protect margins, skimpflation can manifest in anything from staff reductions at stores to replacing high-quality ingredients and products with lower-quality ones or using cheaper manufacturing methods or equipment. So even with, when you look at wine, like the wine and the alcohol, it don't even hit the same no more. You got to drink more of that just to get some type of feeling. That's because it's watering the stuff down, Also, you'll go to the different restaurants. You used to be able to get a combo for $13, $14, but now you got to buy the burger, you got to buy the fries, you got to buy a drink, all separate, a la carte,
Yeah, kind of.
Can we go ahead? I'm gonna get this. This is Psalms Dahoyim, chapter 105. Look at verse 16. It says, "Moreover, he called for a famine upon the land. He break the whole staff of bread." That's pretty much what the Lord is doing,
That's right.
This word for famine. It says, Ra'ai, all right, famine, hunger. It says famine in the land, nation of the Lord's word. It says hunger of individuals. It says famine, everything. It's a famine of everything. You got a shortage of food. You got a shortage of workers. You got a shortage of a chip shortage. It's a shortage of pretty much resources. That's essentially why they're using these tactics, because Esau thrives on that witchcraft.
That's right.
So it says, according to Borzan, EU supermarkets have been plagued by such practices since the start of the Ukraine conflict, even as actual inflation ratings are no longer at record high levels. Since the Russian invasion of Ukraine, higher quality ingredients have been replaced by lower quality ones to produce many foods. This measure was initially intended to be temporary, but has persisted to this day. For instance, the shortage of sunflower oil has led to its substitution with palm oil in certain products. Borzan wrote an appeal to the European Commission posted on the European Parliament's official website. She noted that the bloc's market has stabilized, but some manufacturers continue to use palm oil because it is cheaper. We go ahead and get that Ezekiel shot.
Con. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, verse 4.
10.
Oh, Salah. Chapter 4 and verse 10. And thy meat which thou shalt eat shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day. From time to time shalt thou eat it.
Right, because the scriptures say that going back to the curses, yea, clothe you, but there is none warm. Yea, have drink, but there is not enough drink. And he that earneth wages earneth to put it in a hole with bags, roughly paraphrasing. So, yeah. We keep going.
Gone. Verse 11. Thou shalt drink also water by measure. The sixth part of an hin, from time to time shalt thou drink. Thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of a man in their sight.
That's pretty much going into how the food is defiled. Like Esau, the mad scientist that he is, he pretty much puts shit in food, or he puts, with the food coloring, he'll use a cockroach and put them into like chocolate and stuff like that.
If I may, and then they'll turn around and say that it's good for you. I got precept, Baba Kashaf. The book of Job, chapter 13 and verse 4. Be ye forgers of lies, O Salakia. Let me start up a little. Yeah, Khan. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. You know what I'm saying? And what you have done was lie to the people about the ingredients in the food, the famine of the food, you know what I'm saying? Because although we're going into this, over here in Babylon the Great, you know what I'm saying? It's an orchestrated thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By these elites, destroying, the meat, the produce, the grass, or like the crops here in Babylon the Great, you know what I'm saying, to bring about famine, although we know it's through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
Yep.
You got it, bro.
And they had the time where the vid was going on, so they was telling the farmers to destroy their crops. They was paying them to do that. Back to the article, it says it is particularly concerning that certain manufacturers have not informed consumers about the changes in the ingredients on the packaging, like you just said. It says, and the nutritional values no longer correspond to the original data she emphasized, but she called on the commission to analyze the practice to determine whether it is misleading consumers and to prepare for measures to counter it. Can we go back to that? What's that, verse 14 or 13?
I read down to verse 12. I'm at 13 now. And Yahweh Shem Yahushai said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I drive them. Then said I, Lord power, behold, my soul has not been polluted.
So pretty much Ezekiel was saying like he has never it was another prophet that said the same thing, because he pretty much, that was going into another analogy, but he's pretty much saying right here that he hasn't eaten anything that was unclean, because man's dumb. Esau eat it, but it's unclean, so he's saying he hasn't eaten anything that was unclean.
Yeah, Khan, the apostle is one of the apostles who said that.
Yeah,
I have never eaten anything unclean, my Lord.
Yeah.
Where was I? Verse 14. Then said I, Lord power, behold, my soul has not been polluted, for from my youth up even till now have I not eaten of that which dieth of itself, or is torn into pieces, neither came there abominable flesh in my mouth. Then he said unto me, lo, I have given thee cow's dung for man's dung. That's deep. Lo, I have given thee cow's dung for man's dung, and thou shalt prepare thy bread wherewith. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem.
The staff of bread, pretty much I was going into those times, but it can be applied to right now, because exactly. They said 2024 is going to be like the largest famine. So that's why we started to see the shrinkflation, stagflation, all the inflations, because they run out of resources.
Mm-hmm.
They're watering everything down, So essentially that's the Lord touching the resources.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefly the food is going to the food.
That's right. Come. I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care.
Yep.
And they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment.
Yep. And then that also goes into like they got different things because they're watering this stuff down. Going into this article, things like the Dasani, you actually drink it. That water's bad for you, but you'll drink different waters. They'll put things in it to make you actually want to go and buy more.
Yeah, come. Verse 17, that they may want bread and water and be astonished one with another and consume away in their iniquity.
Right. And pretty much get in touch with that famine. So I'm going to keep going in the article. It says, the EU has been hit with the cost of living crisis over the past 2 years. Well, they had a cost of living crisis here. They said like more than 50% of people in America cannot afford their rent.
That's right.
And then it also said...
and that number's still growing out.
Yeah. It also said something, I've seen an article today, but pretty much it said it was back in Charlotte, but it was a vote for 4, and one council members, they was like, hey, we got to do something about this rent, because things is getting too expensive. So it says, with the record levels of inflation squeezing household budgets, many companies have gone out of business due to soaring costs of raw materials and energy. The bloc narrowly avoided ending 2023 in recession. Many analysts link the troubles with Brussels' sanctions against Russia, which pretty much what Esau is doing is he's just kicking the can down the road. And he's not going to be able to keep doing that. Eventually it's going to pop, So it says, many analysts link the troubles with Brussels' sanctions against Russia, which led to the bloc losing access to the country's cheap energy resources. You see, so the cheap fixes is not going to do it anymore, Just like with these houses, like they throwing these houses up, but they're super cheap. It's not going to last, So could we get Revelation 6:6, and I'll get 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 21.
The book of Revelations chapter 6 and verse 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
Right, a measure of wheat for a penny, a measure of barley for a penny, roughly paraphrasing. So that penny goes into the Russian denarion, which is a day's worth of wages. So Jacob make $160 in a day, but almost every other day you gotta damn near spend that amount that you're making, which is only gonna keep increasing. A loaf of bread might cost $300 is the way that this money is going. I had bought some silver from the store. It was 10 cent. 1 10-cent silver coin was $7. It's 10 cents, but it's $7. That just shows you the inflation, because if I got 10 cents of silver right here, why is it not just 10 cents in USD? So that shows you how this money is being inflated. Or everything is being inflated, and this dollar is worth it. So, And it says, see thou hurt not the oil and the wine, because its truth is being preserved.
That's right.
And then I got 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 21. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth, because when you go into famine, it chiefly goes into food, but famine just means a shortage. So it's a shortage of victuals. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evil grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. It's great confusion. No one knows what's going on. No one knows to know, or no one understands whether to go to right or to go left. Unless someone is in the truth, they don't understand what's going on. So it says famine, sword. The sword, the modern day sword is the gun. So it's been an increase in break-ins, robberies, etc., and etc.
That's right.
It says evils, bad times. They just had the over in California, that big flood. You got earthquakes, pestilences. In Charlotte, you got an HIV, syphilis, chlamydia epidemic right now. So that goes into the bad times too, because a lot of people is going to die from that.
If I may, what I'm saying, and then on top of that, you still also have other things that has been prophesied. the uproars of the people,
Yep.
you know, the Civil War, you know, the race war,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the World War.
Yep.
So a lot of people are being frustrated by these things, but meanwhile, you know, the dollar is falling, and you know, the prices of goods is going up. You know, because of the fall of the dollar. You know what I'm saying? Just this year, BRICS was in what? BRICS started January 1st or something like that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So this is just the beginning of the demise of the dollar and the beginning of sorrow.
If I could add too, BRICS, the B in that I believe goes into Brazil. You know, so they got their own little currency going on, but they don't need, you know, the USD because Brazil has a lot of resources. So therefore, it's going to be a competition for who's going to reach that new currency.
Oh,
you know,
what's up?
No, you got it.
Nah, you know, and you know, I was gonna say that a lot of people are also pissed off because you got that guy Tucker Carlson. He went to Russia. You know what I'm saying? And when he was in Russia, he went to a supermarket and he bought some stuff, stuff that we would normally go into a supermarket and buy for a week. He bought a week's worth of food for $104. US dollars. Meanwhile, that same food here in Babylon the Great is nearly $400.
Right.
So the people are frustrated at these things. You got it, bro.
That's pretty much it. You got something else?
Nah.
Well, hey, we pray that lesson was edifying. Hey, we're going to close out by saying, Call light and law, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh, Shalom, Ba'ashem, double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us the truth and rule well. Much respect to you, bros out there, pushing truth with our righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, shalom, how you want to walk. Shalom.